Tonight on Localite with John Compton, Brian Petros and Jon discuss the local sailing scene in Hood River. As commodore of the Hood River Yacht Club, Brian works to organize a successful, family-friendly yet competitive environment for sailors on the Columbia River. That's all right now on Localite.
Brian, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So you're going to talk about the yacht club, the Hood River Yacht Club, but you actually you weren't exposed to the gorge for sailing per se. You were kind of out here more for the mountains, right?
That's right, yeah. When I first moved out here, it was the mountain that brought me out here. And I was here probably 4 years before I started getting into sailing.
Okay.
Didn't grow up a sailor, so.
So you were snowboarding?
Snowboarding, yep. Got a job at Meadows and just fell in love with it, and so kind of did the ski bum thing for quite a few years and had a good time and met a lot of good people.
So now when I say sailing, we're obviously not talking about windsurfing, but
right.
Was windsurfing part of your story at all?
Not at all.
Really?
I still haven't done it to this day. Most of my friends all do it. It's just something that appeals to me, but you know, trying to fit everything into a busy schedule is hard sometimes. So
yeah.
You gotta pick your sports.
Yeah, well, and all of them are so expensive, so trying to, have to watch your budget too. So, well, when did you start, when did the sailing piece start coming into play and you started really going, I like this, and what attracted you to it?
Growing up, I was around boats a little bit, always had an attraction to boats and playing in the water. Had an opportunity in 97-ish to purchase a boat for cheap. A friend of mine was getting rid of, and he was moving out of town and just needed to get rid of it. And I thought, hey, this is a great time to get a boat.
No experience though, really? No
experience. I'd been sailing maybe 2 times before that, growing up as a kid on little day sailors in Portland. Got the boat and just started going pretty much every day that summer.
Wow.
Met a lot of good people down at the marina. Just really.
So that was all here in the gorge, in Hood River?
In Hood River.
What kind of boat? Like what size?
It was a Cal 20, 20-foot boat, old. It was built in the 60s. Solid boat from the Southern California area. And still really active fleet today, these boats. And it was just a perfect boat for Hood River.
Cool.
Perfect boat for a beginner. So.
Yeah. So would you tow it everywhere, or did you just keep it moored in one place?
I kept it moored.
Is that pretty typical for people who sail?
Yes.
Okay.
It is here. In other areas, they have better launching facilities. So most people in this area just keep their boats in the water.
Okay. So when, or how, I should say, did you become, is it commodore?
Commodore, yes.
Of the Hood River Yacht Club?
I became commodore in 2003 or 2004. Just over the years, I started getting more involved with the club. Started off by trying to organize some of the racing. There was kind of a little bit lack of interest in organization, and so they had a hard time filling some of the positions in the club, and I said, hey, I'll give it a shot. And
how long had the yacht club been around by the time you started getting involved? Had it been around for quite a while?
Yeah, since the 1950s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So how many people? Like, was it pretty just very loose?
I think
bunch of different opinions.
Yeah, in the early days, it was a handful of people. It was just guys and their families that had kind of bumped into each other out on the river. Got together and said, hey, let's form a club.
So what does a club actually do? Like, what does the yacht club, what's it exist for?
It exists primarily just to get people together.
Okay.
We organize racing. That's kind of a big aspect of the club as far as popularity goes. So every Wednesday night through the spring, summer, and fall, we organize racing. We also try and organize some cruising events throughout the year, get guys together out on the water and do some overnighters.
Okay. So on Wednesday nights, around Hood River, you can always see a bunch of boats out there. So that's you guys.
That's us.
Okay. How many are generally out?
Oh, we get 10 to 12 boats out on the line on a typical Wednesday night.
So now, do you guys have people from like other yacht clubs, other areas that when maybe they're sailing through or something that want to join in, or?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. We have some invitational regattas occasionally, usually one a summer, and gets people in from all over.
Okay.
People from California, Washington, Canada.
Well, great.
And then, yeah, all yacht clubs are usually pretty friendly with each other, so when we get people traveling from out of town, try and find them a ride on a boat. You know.
Do you guys have any limitations? Like it has to be, at least this big of a boat or this small of a boat or anything like that?
For the Wednesday night racing, the only limitation is that it has to be a keel boat.
Okay, and that is?
That is a boat that has ballast.
Okay.
So that basically excludes dinghies that typically don't have ballast.
Or like catamarans or whatever they are?
Catamarans are acceptable.
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
okay.
I should rephrase that. It's not keel boats. You have to have a valid rating certificate, which allows boats of different types to sail against each other.
Okay. Well, we'll take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll learn more about the yacht club and some of the competitions and the future of it and all of that. So you guys stick with us. Be right back.
Later.
The only qualification for joining is that you have an interest in boating or water recreation in general.